Hello there and welcome to this video where I'll be talking all about the kinds of challenges that you might face as a sensitive person in the month of August, as well as some self-care tips that I'm going to be doing myself that I thought I'd share with you as a way to kind of ease yourself through the month and enjoy the month. If you can stay till the end, I'm going to be sharing an offer with you, and yeah, when you're ready, let's get stuck in. So, welcome to August. I hope you're keeping well. I'm going to be sharing 3 challenges with you for the month of August. 3 that I'm finding are the most challenging, I guess, but there may be more. If there are for you, then pop them in the comments below. But firstly, if you are new to me and my work, my name is Nicola. I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga therapist, and this is what I love to talk about and think about and write about, all things relating to self-care and personal development for sensitive folk, neurodivergent folk like myself. So yeah, if that resonates with you, feel free to like and subscribe. But for now, let's get stuck in. So August, I love August. It is my birthday month, which might be why. But the first challenge that I find is sensing the shift. And what I mean by that is if you're super sensitive to kind of what's going on in the environment around you, and this is definitely me, you will most definitely start to feel that turning this month, the turning of the natural world, that shift towards late summer, early autumn. And this might be quite discombobulating, it might be a bit unsettling. There will definitely be a day or a morning this week where I'll wake up and I will say to my husband, it's happening, can you feel it? And I don't know whether I'm picking up on the light or like an energetic shift, I don't know, but I can feel it. It's almost like it's on the breeze, and that might bring a sense of, it might bring a feeling of relief if you prefer moving into the colder months. It might also bring a feeling of sadness or nostalgia, so there might be some emotions around it. But just on a basic nervous system level, sensing that shift means change, and it can be a little bit unsettling. The second challenge that I have to mention at this point is you may be feeling really tired. You might have like a summer hangover. Maybe you've had a particularly busy one, perhaps there's been a lot of travel, perhaps you've had a lot of children at home, or it's just been a busy time, and so you might be really fatigued, particularly if it's been a real struggle to give yourself a few moments of pause, or, you know, if you have got kids at home, this can be a time when maybe your self-care routines have, you know, gone out the window a little bit, and so you might be really feeling in need of some time to yourself or just tending to your needs. So that can be a challenge, and coupled with that, and I think these two can feed off of each other, the third challenge that I thought I would mention, which is a big one, is that maybe back to school / back to work anxiety, apprehension. And there might be part of you that's welcoming it. Maybe you're like, I'm so ready to get out of this chilled, anything goes vibe. I want some structure and routine, and that's fine. I definitely crave that too. But the other side of the coin is it might be like, oh, I've got to go back to work, or the kids might be feeling anxious about going back to school, or maybe you're going back to school yourself. So there might be some apprehension about the start of a new year, perhaps a new teacher, perhaps new work colleagues, new projects, or just that sense of going back to something. And another change can bring about anxiety. So what to do about it? Of course, we're living life. There's not much we can do about the seasonal shifts, but we can tweak our self-care so that we can navigate these movements through time with a bit more ease and a bit more care for ourselves. And the first tip that I'm going to share with you is something that could benefit you all throughout the year, but I think it's particularly useful at this time of the year. It really matches the energetics of this part of the season, which is a practice of mindfulness. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a formal sitting practice of mindfulness, although doing so will teach you or give you the chance to practice the skills to bring mindfulness into your everyday life. But it could be as simple as going on a mindful walk, leaving your phone at home, walking slowly, taking time to notice what you can see, hear, smell, feel, etc. It could be preparing a meal really mindfully. And really what the practice of mindfulness does is it slows you down and brings you into the present moment. And you might be thinking, oh, my mind is too busy for that. I know I just get frustrated. And I guess my thoughts back to that would be, number one, I know my mind goes at 100 miles an hour most of the time. But the practice of mindfulness is actually not trying to get rid of your thoughts. Mindfulness is that moment where your mind has gone off on a little jolly thinking about what you're going to do next or ruminating over something of the past. It's that moment where you notice and go, oh, okay, you've gone off. I'm going to bring you back to the here and now. That is mindfulness. And you might need to do that 10 times, 50 times, doesn't matter. The more you do it, the easier it becomes and the more kind you tend to end up being, because frustration with yourself only gets you so far. And actually part of being mindful is about going, oh, okay, you're feeling frustrated because your mind's wandered off. That's okay. And being a bit more compassionate with yourself. So bringing this in now is so useful because it actually marries up with the energy of the season really well. The season is starting to slow down a little bit. So it slows us down out of the kind of activity of maybe the height of summer. But it also allows us to tap into this point of the season where we can just pause and just notice the abundance around us. August is a really beautifully abundant month. The fruits have ripened, the harvest is getting going. It's a time to really celebrate what we have, and by dropping into the present moment we can really access that a lot easier rather than kind of getting caught up in, I've got to get the uniform sorted and this and that and blah, 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 blah. That could be really easy. And if you are feeling really tired, August is a beautiful month to pause before going into that kind of back to school, back to work vibe. So that brings me to my second tip, which is about bringing your routines back in earlier, maybe, than neurotypical folk would do. So, and this is especially true if you've got extra sensitive children. I have an entirely neurodivergent, extra sensitive household. And so those routines need to come back in, not all at once, but slowly, at least a couple of weeks before they go back to school. That might seem extreme, but it just helps us just slowly keep layering those routines. So by the time you get back to school, the get-up routine, the nighttime routine, the maybe being a bit more responsible with our clothes and getting ready, that's all back in place. So it's not too much of a shift, because going back to school for extra sensitive kids, going back to work if you're extra sensitive yourself, it is going to be, I don't know, like being slapped around the face with a wet fish. It's a change. It's going to be a lot to take, and it usually takes a couple of weeks to settle into that new routine, doesn't it? But by having those routines in place, it just makes the transition a bit easier. That's what I find anyway. Feel free to let me know if that works for you. And then my third one, which I just love, and I'm going to really make sure I do this year, is to think about the weeks and maybe months ahead. So maybe going into September and just planning in things that you love, what it is you love to do. Maybe as we go into the autumn, you are looking forward to those evenings snuggled up with a book. If so, get yourself some books. Get them there ready. Plan in when you're going to spend some time with those books. Maybe you you're a crafty person, you like to do knitting or crochet or whatever. Maybe you can set aside, okay, that weekend I am going to get my make on. Or whatever it is, just plan in some times for you to do things that you really love, that really fills you, so that you can kind of wind down this late summer vibe, kind of feeling like, okay, so I'm not just going back to work, I'm not just going back to school, I've got those things in that I know I really love, so I get to do those when I get there. So it just eases that transition a little bit, and it gives you that pause as well that you may well need at this time. Okay, so they are my tips. If there's anything else you want to share, please put them in the comments below. We learn from each other. I learn from you as much as anything else, and I really love to hear from you. Also, feel free to like and subscribe too. It really helps my channel. And maybe share this with any other sensitive person that might be of benefit. Now, for my special offer, if you are really looking to get back into some self-care routines and you know you're going to find it tricky, I would really love to have you come and join me over at my membership space, which is called Sensitive Soul Space, where you basically are supported in your self-care. There's lots of pre-recorded therapeutic yoga, meditations, relaxations. You also get an ebook each month, which is like a self-care tool, self-care workbook with journal prompts and suggestions. And we have a live session each month too if you want to join us. The code for you for a discount, I can't remember the percentage off now, I think maybe 20%, something like that, is the word routines. And you get that discount as long as you are signed up. So each month that discount comes off. And this really is an offering to just support you in returning to some self-care routines that's going to nourish you, so that you can be your best as you go into the next academic year or the next few months ahead. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I don't take for granted you taking time out to watch or listen to these videos. So thank you very much. And yeah, take care for now. Enjoy the rest of August.